everyone, Peter here from Northern Works. Super busy day today. You see, I've been planning a bit of a surprise for my boys. I want to transform the third bedroom of our house into a gaming room, you know, just for them. Maybe a bit for me as well. But they're away for 5 days, so I'm going to use the next 5 days, try and get it all done so I can surprise them when they get back. Let me show you what I'm doing. We've been using the third bedroom of the house as a bit of a cosy, you know, a bit of a snug. But over time, like most third bedrooms, it's just become a bit filled with all of the crap of life. And so no one wants to spend any time in here anymore. And that is the plan for this week's episode. We're going to strip out all of the crap that's left over in this room. We're going to put some custom cabinets in there with a special surprise for the boys, and we're going to turn this place into somewhere that you actually want to hang out. So first, I'm cutting all the panels for the cabinet. I'm trying to get everything cut and routed today because I looked at the weather forecast and this is pretty much the only dry day before the boys come back, so I need to get it all done. You know the old saying, measure twice, cut once? Today I am following the measure once, cut twice rule. I've got so many things wrong today. I've cut things narrow that should be wide. I've cut things long that should be short. I don't really have extra material, so I'm making it work. That took a lot longer than I was expecting, if I'm honest, to cut all of that wood. But now that the sun's going down, I'll mark up all of my recesses ready for routing tomorrow. So the way I'm going to put this cabinet together is I'm going to route a recess into the top and the bottom of each of these side panels, and then the actual top and bottom of the cabinet will fit into those recesses and I can join it all together. Not only will that be stronger, but it should also look a bit neater than just a giant butt joint. Right, it's day 2, which means I've got like 3.5 days basically. I need to get this cabinet up and done so I can start painting, because it's drying the paint that's going to take the time. Alright, I think we're finally ready to build this cabinet. When it's finished, this thing is going to be far too big to carry upstairs, so I need to make it so that I can take it apart, carry it upstairs and remake it upstairs. So I'm going to go really simple, and I'm just going to screw it together for now, and then I'll reinforce some sections with dowels, and most of the screws will be hidden anyway, so it's fine. How do I do this with just 2 hands? Go out. Do that. Come on, you. Come on. screws showing on this end under the TV, but I can't screw in at the back. And then the last ones to go in are these ones here. Moment of truth. No, those are far too big. So that means I've got some cutting to do tomorrow. But I'm well happy with it so far. I think that's really neat. A couple of little doors, TV. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Right, it's day 3. I've spent a bit of time this morning measuring out some of the risers and the backer board for the TV. And I think I've got these the right size now, so I'll start to fit these in. And then once all the risers are in and everything's in its final position, I need to fit out the doors and work out how big those should be. I'm going to try something I saw in a random Instagram post. I'm going to see if I can use my circular saw as a plunge saw to get this cut. I'm glad that's done. Let's get out of the rain. Time for something completely different. Well, that's one job done at least. Better get back to that cabinet. Right, it's day 4. I definitely didn't get as much done yesterday as I wanted to, although we did get the painting done, which is good news. We haven't got loads of time today, but I definitely want to get this finished and get a coat of paint on. I might be working late into the night to get it done, but this is what happens when you try and do big projects in the week before Christmas. Are you going to be helpful today? So I want to hang these cabinet doors as inset rather than on the face. And I've got these hinges, simple spring hinges, but I've never done this before. So I really don't know how it's going to work out. Well, that's the doors on. I'm really happy with how this is all turning out, and I fitted some of these press to open cabinet door thingies. So just the last couple of jobs to do before I can sand and paint everything, and that's get the drawer in and get the TV mounted. How about that? Honestly, every time I set off to start a build, I'm like, oh no, this is not going to work, this will never work. And then somehow it works. Right, I need to get this all sanded and ready for painting, which means actually I probably need to knock back some of these little bits where there's protrusions and things coming out and try and sort out a bit of the rough edges. And then get the paint on, ready to get upstairs. I'm so glad I'm painting it and not varnishing it. They better bloody like this thing. Alright, this is it. It's day 5. The boys are going to be here tomorrow, so I have to get this upstairs and get that room finished. I started the day by painting the backs of the doors, and I'm pretty happy with the coverage everywhere else. So I'm going to dismantle it, and then I'm going to carry everything upstairs. I've got a couple of touch-ups to do where I couldn't get the roller in yesterday, so I'll do that while it's dismantled. The final thing I'm going to do while everything's dismantled is to attach these legs to the bottom of the cabinet. I'll just flip everything over. And I'm also going to take the chance to put the face plates on, or the kicker boards that are going to go around and hide these legs, so I don't have to do it upstairs, which would be nice because it's a small room. Right, I'm going to let those touch-ups dry for a couple of hours, and while I do, I want to replace these old curtains that were here from the previous owners with something a bit more modern. Much better. Right, should we get a cabinet in? It's going to be snug. There's another present in the snug for you.
What is that? Oh! The
Well, I'll be honest, that turned out way better than even I was expecting. You know, I set myself a pretty ridiculous challenge building those relatively complex custom cabinets with just some DIY tools in 5 days. But there are definitely things that I would do differently if I was doing it again. You know, I would use better materials, and I would use a better finish on that wood surface because I think that paint is just gonna flake off. But having said that, I think this is one of those projects that proves you don't need a big fancy workshop and thousands of pounds worth of power tools to make interesting furniture that you love, that works for your home and for your family. And the most important thing is the boys absolutely love their new gaming room, and I can see us having loads of fun times playing in there over the next few years. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video, and I think you'll like this one too.